So how long you done had your one wear?
Man, it's been a few wears. It's been
Okay.
a few wears.
Okay.
You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? I figure I ain't buy shit for my birthday, so
When
you
was your
know,
birthday?
April 13th.
Oh, okay. So you done had some Friday the 13th.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah,
You go skating?
yeah. I definitely went skating.
Hey,
Brentwood, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's outside, baby.
look, I couldn't have had a 13th birthday because every Friday 13th I'm out of here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing. I'm kicking.
I
I'm
made a
doing something.
song. I turned 33 on and my birthday was on Friday the 13th. I put a song out. It was called 33 Degrees. And Track Burners beat recorded at the Underground Studio. I only put it on my SoundCloud just because it was just fun shit.
Why
You
you
know what I'm
do
saying?
that?
That was back then.
No, I mean,
That was
why do you do
7
that?
years ago.
I mean, even though it was 7 years ago, like
Mm-hmm.
even with the downplaying it of 7 years ago, you
Mm-hmm.
should still boost that bad boy up. Even though it was 7 years ago, that thing can still pop today.
It could.
You know what I'm saying?
It could.
And that's what I like that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I said, glass half full. As you heard before we got on here, I was
Mm-hmm.
just talking to my cousin. He was locked up.
Right.
I didn't expect that to happen right before we got on here.
Free Jay,
But
by the way.
yeah, Jay, he gonna be all right when he come home. Hopefully, we didn't did enough work, so he ain't gonna have to worry about nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
And we can just get to what he need to do.
Right.
So, but shoot, glass half full. We almost there. Like, remember where you were at.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Don't remember that too long. Forget it and go.
Yeah.
Let's move to the next thing. We got to go.
Honestly, being a motherfucker who was locked up, it's gonna stay with you some kind of sort of way. Because if you in there for a certain amount of time, it's gonna be so many traumatic experiences and so much growth that you have as an individual that you're gonna always remember that time. Especially like, it's definitely a difference. Me being a lesbian with all women, and then niggas being heterosexual.
So you had hoes in there, huh?
I had some women, yeah. I had some women.
Okay, so let's just let's not pivot. Let's not pivot. How does that work?
How does that
do
work?
y'all do like spend the nights, or do y'all like? I mean, because it do like it's bunk to bunk. Do they check you down before you sleep? Or could y'all like spend the night and then somebody go back to their cell the next morning?
Well, here's the thing. It depends on the CO. I had a CO that used to lock me in my girl room. I ain't spend the night though. Now, if you was cool with the CO that was putting, people in rooms, then you could, put a move in. And some people live with their girlfriend. And some of the girls that, didn't fight their gals and goddamn it, kept it cordial, and especially the ones that had life, they let them live with their gals. Because it's like that, you already got life. You ain't going to goddamn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they just let them just do their thing. But for me, I never lived with my gal. But it was mainly, if it was intimate, then it's probably the showers, because we share showers in Memphis. And I get locked up in the cell. We find some type of corner and motherfuckers look out for us. You know what I'm saying? Prison's a big school, so it's like school shit.
It's like high school, okay.
Yeah.
So next question, because
I know.
Interview yeah, I got you. So
it's all good. We're gonna keep
I'm sorry. Did you even introduce the show?
No, fuck it. We going.
Okay, so
we're gonna circle back.
So no. All right,
because it's the Healerz Circle.
Next thing. Okay, so when y'all broke up, because you were in there how long?
3.5 years.
3.5 years. So that was let me see. Let me make sure. 36 months. It's 3 years. How many months?
3 years is 36 months. So
I don't want to
42 months.
Yeah, I listen. I'm not the smartest kid.
It's all good.
I'm no child
Leave it
left
to the
behind.
hustlers.
But okay, so how many girlfriends did you have in there?
2 official ones.
2 official ones. Okay, so the breakup period. How did that work out?
Well,
let's just talk about one that actually broke up while you were in there first.
Yeah.
And then I have a backup question to that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Because the second one we broke up when we both got free.
Okay, so hold on. Let's hold that for a second.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the one when I was already in there.
When I was already in it. Yeah. So rest in peace to her. She just passed in December.
I remember that. Yeah. R.I.P.
So we broke up because we're young, she trying to fuck off. I'm trying to fuck off. You know what I mean? And it's a small campus. This is when we was in Nashville. Actually, us getting into it, was one of the reasons I got sent to Memphis. Because I was in a therapeutic community program. You know what I'm saying? My lawyer was always like, take all the drug classes, take all the therapeutic shit you can. The parole board is gonna look at that and be like, all right, cool. We might let you go home. You know what I'm saying? So I took the program, met her in there. We was like each other. She was a little tomboyish, but I was like, hey, you gotta, tighten that shit up. You know what I'm saying? And what she did, you know what I mean? And
so you turned her into a film?
Yeah.
Okay, good stuff. Keep going. Keep going. No, I'm sorry to cut you off. That's remarkable.
Good. You good. So we was into it about something. We had went to lunch, and me, I'm a lover girl. So I pick up a girl's tray, take it for hold the door, do whatever. So I was doing that for another chick, and she got mad, walked up and mushed my head. And when I turned around, she took out running. So I just cussed her out, you know what I'm saying? Because I was like, at this point, the CO done seen it, you know what I mean? So when we get back, they do these things called pull-ups. Like, it's holding you accountable for your behavior. So as soon as we got back, one of the girls got back, was like, I'm pulling you up for such and such, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, all right. So, and there's a days where you got to sit on it. You know what I'm saying? They talk about it. So they looked at it, the counselors looked at it as an automatic dismissal. So they put us out.
So a random girl said, we're holding you accountable.
Yeah.
Wow.
They pulled her up too.
So her karma is already dealt with. Keep going.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah. So we get back on campus with regular GP, and she not her. So it was a guy that was over the program, black guy. He came and talked to me, and we just had a conversation. He was like, hey, I see a lot of me and you. I want you to come back and finish. And so I was like, all right, bet. So I went back, and so we was kind of just like separated or whatever. And so, we'll write notes and shit like that. But, that's as far as it went, you know what I'm saying? I think it's somewhere in between that we broke up. It wasn't nothing crazy. It was just like your natural separation type shit. And so I was in there, shit. Some old fine women in there. We having a good time. New Year's come around. We have a titty party. We get put back
ass out. Everywhere.
Just titties.
Okay. Okay.
Just titties,
okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Breast bump.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, even had a little old lady up there like,
hey, that's gangster.
Yeah.
So when y'all got out,
it
was like, all right, peace. We don't need to do this no more. It was fun while it lasted.
Oh, that's another chick. That's the other chick. So, because the Coco, she didn't get out. We separated when they sent me to Memphis.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I did most of my time at Mark Luttrell down there, right across from the feds. Shout out to them. So when I got down there, I started fucking with this older chick from Dyersburg, and not first, you know what I'm saying, kind of went through my very, different gals, you know what I'm saying. I wake up, food be cooked on my desk, you know what I'm saying. They wash my clothes, you know what I'm saying.
Wow.
You know what I mean? If my commissary is delayed, they gonna give me some commissary, you know what I'm saying.
So she was pimping them. Okay. She also pimped me as well.
Wow.
You don't understand the story of how I even know pimp. She took me off the streets when I needed money. Keep going. I'm sorry. I know this is your show, but I don't think people have the information of who you are and why you are today. I just want to know a little bit more myself.
Okay.
Keep going. So y'all just, okay. So y'all went to Memphis. Let's fast forward. Let's just fast forward to when you got out.
Okay. Yeah.
How did that split go?
So she came to see me once, you know what I'm saying? And, we did what we did for the night. She went home. And then, she just really just ended up getting back with her old man. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, most of the women in that gay for the stay anyway. It's a small percentage of stay togethers. You know what I'm saying? They either staying in there together or they get out and they together. You know what I'm saying? Okay. But it's a very small percentage. You know what I'm saying? So
it is like high school. Like, if you get together in high school, it's like a 3% chance that you're going to stay together afterwards.
Yep. Just
Excuse
like
me,
that.
I'm sorry.
Need your Gatorade?
Yeah, I done lost it. It's okay. It's a wrap.
Yeah. Want some of the water?
I should have, but I'm not drinking that. You don't know what you do with your mouth. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You said it was filtered water.
It's filtered water.
Hey, your lips ain't filtered. Them things is not filtered. You know how you get down. You just told me 2 stories of 2 different ladies, right?
Right.
So I ain't just gonna act like y'all was just scissoring the whole time. So let's just be real. I'm not drinking anything after you.
That's fine.
And you shouldn't drink after me either. I'm married.
You're right.
Like I wouldn't dare drink after me. I tell my kids,
because it's probably butt central all up in there.
Hey, listen,
You know?
when you with somebody for 14 years, you find sometimes that you might sleep with your tongue stuck in that position, and then you wake up like, you just get back to it. Yeah. So here's the problem with
I've done that without being
water. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I'm gonna die. So if you go that way and then go out the right, he drunk off of that. Yeah, we can't. Yeah, I really appreciate it.
Put him. I think it's only like coffee cups or something like this. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be much. It's the pilot. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to take over, but I'm here. Good. I'm here for you.
No,
if you ever need to talk about any more things that happen in there, we can start a little period where we talk about things that happen in women's prison.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I want to make that a separate entity, so we'll come back to that.
You can do it all on this. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's not preaching too. You can do it all on this.
Yeah. Okay. You're farther in this than I am, so you got it.
It's all good.
Well, thank you for welcoming me to your show.
Welcome to the Healerz Circle, y'all.
Excuse me, y'all.
You know what I'm saying?
Dying right now.
This is a special Cashville episode. You see, I got the Cashville, etc. hat on. You know what I'm saying? My boy Dallas here. You know what I mean? We've been knowing each other since like 2012, 2013. You can tell them how we met if you want to.
Well, it was a cold night in Nashville, Tennessee, off of Dickinson Road. I had a hole in my shoe, a hole in my sock. And she pulled over and I asked her, did she have change for a Lucy? I didn't even smoke cigarettes at the time, but I needed change for a Lucy. She said, no, I got a bigger picture for you. Get in the car, take your shoes off and throw them out. I said, okay. She took me to the store and bought some shoes because I looked that bad. Why are y'all laughing? This is heartbreaking to me. This is a true story. This is a true story.
I'll let you go ahead, brother.
So it's all good, though. Y'all want to laugh at my trauma. Y'all want to laugh at my trauma. I see where y'all at. I see what kind of healing this is. Okay. Okay. But anyways, I met her. I need to get a drink of this water. I need to.
I got you.
Yeah, that's Cumberland Punch. So no, there was a restaurant that was getting started by a guy that we both knew at the time. A lot of shady business was going on. It's okay. We all here. We're all friends today. But she was like the women's talent. She found all the women. She pretty much put all the women in line, and she made sure they were greased up. She made sure they had, glitter, situations like this. And we sold chicken. That's true. We did sell chicken.
And fish.
Yeah. And
sides.
And there was a party in that place one day too.
A few of them.
She pimped me. That's how we met.
Jesus Christ.
I got paid enough just to pay my rent. Okay. You know how I understand.
At least y'all niggas got paid. You know what I'm saying? Ownership, that's a whole nother thing.
They got
you gotta wait.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta wait. You gotta make sure your people straight, and then goddamn it, shit. 5-6 figures later, you wonder like, okay, shut it down.
Yeah, I told him to shut it down. I was like, this is a bad business. Y'all need to shut this down.
But if we had like, and it's a live you learn situation. We thought we had a good mentor, didn't have a good mentor.
That you talk about that fat fuck who sell chicken, fish plates.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. We've had our battles.
Yeah. I think everybody had.
He would have lost them. You know.
Yeah.
I'm in the like. You know. I really would like to talk to him.
Right.
Go ahead.
Okay. But yeah, we lived and we learned. It's right where the party foul is on 8th Avenue now. Had we been in a position to obtain the knowledge we needed and be able to persist and keep on going, we would have been multimillionaires by now.
No, it wasn't that. It was more or less just timing, because in 13, it wasn't, you got to think, from 2013 to 2015, the dynamic of the ghost just changed. Mm-hmm. And then from 15 to 18, it was like a whole new world.
Yeah.
You know that. And so here we are at what, 18 going into 25.
Mm-hmm.
It's gentrified.
Very gentrified.
And I'm not saying gentrified in colors or anything, just from new owners. Like they have did the turn of who owns what, who's going where, who's got the most money, who can make everything a little bit nicer for, presentation.
Right.
I like it. I ain't
and
gonna
who's
front.
Gonna last too. Because you'll go to one restaurant one week and go back the next week and like, hey, I kind of like that thing I had. I'm gonna try something else. You get there, it's gone.
And see, here's the cool thing, right? In Nashville, you can go to a new restaurant, morning, noon, and night, and not eat at the same restaurant for 2 years straight.
Mm-hmm.
But people choose to eat at McDonald's.
It's good hangover food, McMuffin me.
I'd never know.
McMuffin me.
I would never know.
With no meat.
You
know what I'm saying? But it's I've slowed down a lot on my drinking, so there we go.
So you don't drink no more?
I said slow down. I said slow down. We're going to have me a few drinks today, but it's fine because I used to drink all day, every day.
Oh God.
So Jesus.
I drink 3 times a year. That's on my wife's birthday, Thanksgiving, and Christmas or New Year's. One or the other. It depends on if there's some champagne around. Mm-hmm. And then if it's only champagne. Mm-hmm. And if I don't have champagne on them days, I'm not even gonna drink then.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I got my whole family like to drink.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking more like uncles and aunties.
Right.
So I've watched 2 uncles die from drinking.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've watched another auntie, totally just change her whole presence, just because of the drinking. So in my family, I don't think that's our drug to do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I try to stay far away. And then I think of it like this too. Like when it comes to like drinking, like really, you're only supposed to drink when it's a celebration.
Mm-hmm.
Celebration is Moet, champagne, good time. Everything else is like hard times.
Yeah.
What's so hard that you gotta beat up your liver? There ain't no reason for that. I'm trying to look young as long as possible. Shoot.
People be pre-suicidal, man. They just drink, try to, put shit down. I mean, I know I've drank for those reasons. I mean, that wasn't my main reason drinking every day, unless I was unhappy with myself about something. Social anxiety is a big thing for me because I do a lot of networking. So a lot of networking comes with a lot of drinking. So I can feel comfortable to talk to people I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Man, people don't know that and don't understand that, and it fucks with me.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
I got
you. Woo. All right, shook it off. But that brings me to a question. What are you healing?
That's such a vague question.
That's it how you want to, though.
Like, you think you healing from something every day.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it could be small, it could be big. Like, with me,
mm-hmm.
I just went through a personal journey in the last 2 weeks. I feel like I'm just now arriving soulfully,
right.
So I have, I had battles from decades. I had to break down a decade, and I took 2 days to really understand why I'm in the position that I am.
Mm-hmm.
So number one, my mom died when I was 2.
Right.
Like, I'm already wired different. So I came up in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's start there. All my friends' fathers got taken away in the 90s.
Right.
So my dad was the only dad in the neighborhood. I had all these mothers. So they had more emotions. I had to go home and think more logic. Everything was logic with my father. It was not how do you feel?
Right.
I don't give a damn how I feel.
Right.
What makes sense?
Right.
You know, so, you know, I had to figure out how to, you know, love, feel, channel emotions a little bit better. You know, that's one battle I've always dealt with in my life, because, you know, through not knowing how to emotionally express myself, I've hurt a lot of people.
Right.
You know, throughout that time, even like this last 2 weeks, I've called people back from 20 years ago and apologized, just because in order to do the healing, you have to make the steps. Right. You can't just pray about it. You also got to pray about it, show some actions too, and don't worry about it no more. Right. So it was more, you know, like I said, that's such a vague question. You know, I've healed from my childhood. You know, I don't hold.
Well, that brings me to my second question.
Okay.
Since we're going there, it's just you can give me one, you can give me several, but describe a childhood trauma you had to heal from.
That's probably the biggest one.
That's the biggest one.
A nigga growing up with no mama is traumatizing. Right. In every aspect. The foundation gets broke up. Your father has to deal with his depression. Your father, like, you gotta think, you know, he could have just threw me away and just kept it moving just because he couldn't deal with it. Right. You know, he chose to keep me. Right. You know, so with that, we had to grow together. So, you know, my very first memory that I can remember is at a funeral, and I touched my mother's face, and I asked, I think it was my grandmother, it might have been my father, they were standing right there, why is she cold? Yeah. What you supposed to take from that? What they supposed to say? They can't explain that to a 2-year-old, right. You know? So I was like 2.5. So, you know, your very first memory, and you think you're having a party at your house because all these people are at your house, right? But you're not understanding that they all at your house in black, right? And they here for something else, right? So I can't even fathom what my father might have went through after everybody went home. I have no clue, you know. So you start there, you break that down, you get rid of that, you move on, then you deal with your teenage years.
Right. But do you ever really get rid of it though?
No, it's impossible.
Right.
It's impossible. That's what makes you. You know, if you try to get rid of something, you try to push it down and say you're not this no more, you start bleaching your skin and becoming another person. No. What was put in front of you is what makes you who you are. Right. Are you gonna be strong about it? Are you gonna be weak about it? Is this the reason why you fold, or is this the reason why you blossom? Right. You know, so you know you don't have. There's nothing to push down. Right. You know, this is it's still thank yous. You know, today is Mother's Day. You know, hey, I ain't never gave my mother a card or taking her out to dinner, bought her a drink. I ain't did none of that. I ain't took her. She ain't teach me how to drive. She ain't did none of that. It's okay. It's okay. She gave me the opportunity to live. Right. Because see, hey, it could have been easily she passed 4 years early compared to 2 years early. Right. You know, so, and then I would have never been here. Right. So I'm thankful. Right. I'm very thankful for her. You know, I'm thankful for every situation I got because it's a lesson learned. You know, if you learn from the lesson, cool. If you don't, cool. So the lesson from my mother dying, everything is temporary. Right. So feelings are temporary, emotions are temporary, people are temporary. It is what it is. You know, you can't put too much stock into that. You just have to enjoy the moment that you're in. Right. And try not to make anybody else's time around you hard. Yeah. It's that simple. So.
I understand that, man. I had to grow to get there though, because I lost my dad when I was 14. So it's kind of like, you know, we were so much alike that we always got into it. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of the relationship we've been working and healing through spiritually ever since I started my healing journey. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of still on the fence about, like, yeah, everything is temporary, but at the same time, I'm gonna enjoy it while it's here too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because after that, it's been loss after loss.
Well, you gotta think about it. Okay, let's be realistic with us. Like, all right, you from the South, I'm from the East. All right, let's our lives are very much a mimic of each other,
Right.
in a lot of ways.
Right.
So, number one, I can't say that losing a parent the way you lost it is the same as mine, because you actually got to know your parent.
Same.
That would crush me if I had to learn. It's at such a young age. You know, you had to, pivot and do something else with your life, and you had to get guidance from somebody else. You know, like mine started out like that. You had to, like, when Larry died. You know, it was like a whole piece of you had to die. You can't keep living the same way. It's impossible. Nobody understands that until something that drastic happens.
Correct.
And like, you got to understand, you should be proud of yourself. You know, a lot of people, took themselves out the game with it. They got on pills or whatever drug that could help them get to the point of final destination. But they decided, you didn't decide to do that because you ain't built like that.
You try to help for others. A moment. I went through it for a moment, but it didn't take over me to where that's what I live for.
But this is the thing about you, Pimp. It's a little different. Like, you've always got people around that's gonna love on you.
This is true.
They're not gonna let you. They're not gonna let you. Sure, I know your family. They're not gonna let you do none of that stupid stuff. It's not that type of party. They see you falling, they're gonna come lift you up, and that's important. That's really important.
Thankful for tribe. Always.
So,
man. So, how do you deal with your feelings as a Black man from the hood?
Like, I kind of grew up on the north side. I can say from the lessons of my father and his military background.
Okay.
Even though we rented a lot of homes and moved every 2 years, it was never actually in a hood location. All my friends were hood, so I'm not going to discount that. Right. I hung around them because those were the closest people who, resembled me. You know what I'm saying? So, like, say for instance, I grew up in front, where Stratford is, right?
Yeah.
I could walk across the street from my house to Stratford. So you walk down the street, it was Porter Road, and then you had projects.
Right.
Those were my friends.
Right.
My friends would come over to my house and play with my video games and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
But I don't consider just the projects the hood.
Well, hood locations, okay. If you want to think about it, if you want to take it there, the school that I went to was on probation.
Right.
I was there, but I mean, like, feelings, like I told you, I'm a logical thinker. I'm just now getting in tune with the feelings part. I kind of I don't want to harp on them too much. It's not something that I'm just gonna sit here and be a victim of any situation of crying and stuff. So I'm saying like this, and some guys out there, I understand that.
We all do.
It's okay. I'm not willing to go and sit and talk with somebody. Because first of all, I don't have the money for that shit.
Understood.
So let's be real clear. I ain't rich to do that. I got 4 kids. They need my money way more than him. So with me, excuse me, with me, I do a lot of self-talking. Like, I can pretty much figure it out myself. Like this last week, I'll tell you straight up, a prominent figure in media who I look up to got taken down. It destroyed my heart. It destroyed my heart to the point where I had to go sit back and then I got into my feelings for a second because, he loved his grandmama like I love mine. He was our house and stuff. I can remember sometimes doing that. You know what I'm saying? And I couldn't fathom myself ending up like that, So, my wife's calling me.
Lord.
Hold on. Y'all gonna have to edit this out.
All right. So, before I ask this next question, I think I'm gonna turn around a little bit, because I've never had this conversation with you or seen you talk about it like on your platform or anything like that. Do you believe in the power, the ancestral powers?
I don't know enough to.
Okay.
I can't say yes or no. I take the knowledge that my great granny gave me.
And what was that?
And that's, you walk a certain way, you talk a certain way, you walk like your grandfather, you talk like your great grandfather. You ain't never seen this man, but that man, he walked just like you. So I don't know what he did though, because that's all she said.
Right.
So I don't know the power that it beholds.
Right.
The only thing I can do is not antagonize it or disrespect it. So, me even giving an opinion on that and not having the knowledge to know would be disrespectful.
Yeah. Because the question was like, what ancestral wisdom or lineage guides your healing practice, and how do you stay connected to it? But I think it was, unnecessary to ask if you don't have those practices.
No.
If that's not your, what I'm saying? Not to say it's not your thing.
You got to think about it like this. A lot of people get that stuff from their mama.
Yeah.
Once again, I get that.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of, like I said, I'm a little off from everybody else. I'm a little thrown off from just an average person, because a lot of the instillings that a mama would teach, I ain't get that.
I understood.
So I'm more of a, like, hey, you make that baby, you take care of that family. He ain't no brute like that.
Right.
But hey, you just handle your business. If it makes sense, it makes sense. I know. But he was also raised the same way.
Right.
So I couldn't tell you.
Nah, I understood, man. Like, where I'm at in my spirituality journey, man, it came from like healing work and, going outside the box of, because I was raised in the church, you know what I'm saying? They had me in there 8 days a fucking week, you know what I'm saying? But once I got older and kind of like was able to, decide on my own, I ain't going to church this week. I ain't gonna be in a church like that. I want to do this. I want to do that. I just kind of stepped away from it completely. You know what I'm saying? But I always been spiritual. Yes, I believe in God. You know what I'm saying? But the past few years, I've been, doing other practices, you know what I'm saying? And really communicating a lot with my ancestors. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people are scared of that, or they just don't get into that. And I don't know, I just like to ask different people, you know what I'm saying, about the knowledge of knowing that we do have spiritual help.
I believe it's true.
Yeah.
I could obviously see that some of it is true. You don't get certain beliefs in things out of nowhere. Had to be brought down from somewhere. Everything was brought down. We still use seasoning in our food because it was brought down.
Yeah.
So it has to, it comes from somewhere.
Right.
Just me personally, I don't know. I didn't find my mother's people until I was 37 years old.
Okay.
So, you think about that. I went a lifetime. Some people get out of prison before I found my people. You know what I'm saying? And did a 25 to L, got out, started their whole life, started their whole family. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I still didn't know. Right. And I'm still learning, so nah, I couldn't tell you no lies.
Man. For my last question, if you had a chance to talk to your mom, what would you say?
I'm gonna make Thank you. That wouldn't be the only thing I say. I would go into ramble mode. You want to know what I would really say? Hey, mama, guess what? Your son, he ain't no mess up. You know what I'm saying? I actually made it through life. I did a couple of things. I ran a little track a little bit. I wasn't that good at it. I was good enough, but I didn't make it. I barely made it out of high school, but I made it. You know what I'm saying? I made some kids and stuff, and they made it. Your daughter's doing okay. You got grandkids. You know, we got things going on. I'm trying to make our name sound better in the future. So when I make it to wherever you at, I don't know if you're in heaven. I don't know if you're walking the earth. I don't know if you below kicking it down there. I don't know where you're at. But hopefully the next time I present myself to you, you'll be like, you had a full life, didn't you? You know? So I don't know.
Right.
But if it was realistically, if it was put in front of me today, there would be no way. Think about the real. How much do you love your daddy? Think about the deepest love that you have for your daddy. There would not be a word that would be said. It would be a hug.
Yeah.
And she would start talking.
Yeah.
Because you would be so in awe that this person is real.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I think she's a fairy tale to me. You know what I'm saying? It's not a real thing.
Right.
You know, it's like okay, you know, like when people die, they start to they become, you know, memorized as a good person. I don't know nothing. Right. You know, because the only thing anybody will ever tell you is the good things. I want to know everything.
Right.
Did she roll up?
Right.
What kind of cigarettes did she smoke?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What something.
Right.
Give me something else.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm now, you know, I'm starting to find out things. The my parents are from St. Louis. My parents' people are from St. Louis. So I got a lot of ties in St. Louis. I love St. Louis. Nobody could ever make me say anything bad about St. Louis.
Gotcha.
Like, for real, it's a beautiful place, surrounded behind, you know, it looks like anarchy, but the people are top notch. They show me all of that. But my excuse me, my mother's people were 2 blocks over from my daddy's people. And 37 years, we didn't never know that.
Damn.
So there's an origin to everything else too, why that happened. And I'm gonna break that down to you. So, okay, my mother and my uncle, her brother, died in the same week. My uncle had a hole in his heart. My mother had brain cancer. So I can only imagine what my grandmother felt. You know, she probably lost her mind. You know, so when I found them again, I didn't even care because I can only think of that. After I done had my kids, I could only think, oh my God, I couldn't even imagine. I couldn't even fathom losing. So, you know, I was too late to meet my grandmother. I was probably about a year late, but I still got to meet all my aunties, and I got cousins for days that I met, you know, so, you know, you just can't hold it. You can't hold it towards nobody. Everybody got their own demons. Everybody going through something. Everybody got their own journey. When you die, it's just going to be you in that casket. Ain't going to be nobody else, you know, and you just gotta live life to the fullest. You can't really harp on your trauma. You harp on your trauma, you might as well just go ahead and get in that casket right now.
Right.
Go ahead and end it right now, because what you going to do? You going to cry about it, or are you going to fix it? Are you going to sit down and look yourself in the mirror? Because some people, you don't even understand. A lot of people don't even look themselves in the mirror in the morning. They'll brush their teeth. And they won't even look up and look themselves in the eyes.
Right.
You know, so you take that away from you and you start facing yourself, because the only thing in your body that ain't ever gonna change is your eyes. You got the same eyes for the rest of your life, the same size. They not gonna change.
Yeah.
So you gotta be prepared to look yourself in the eyes and tell yourself where you went wrong and what you're doing right. And where you went wrong, you gotta say, okay, that's it. We're not gonna do that again. I repent from that. Let's move on. And then just keep doing right and try to keep building a better you every day. It's impossible to be perfect. You was imperfect when you woke up this morning. You saw when I was imperfect. I already failed. I failed. When we shook hands this morning. All right. I had failed the battle. So, but here's the thing: you can't fail. You can't fail yourself.
Right.
You can't fail your expectations. Everybody else's expectations, it really don't matter. It's cool. It's cool. Some people's matter more than others. Like my wife's, her expectation of mine is actually I care about that one.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I don't even care about it. Nah, they greedy. Nah.
Man. But I've seen you in dad mode, so I already know, bro. Quit it.
They cool. They cool. They cool human beings.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say, man, I wish you well on everything you got going on your journey. You know what I'm saying? I do have an outlet if you ever feel like you want to communicate with your mom.
Does the outlet sell Nikes?
No, they don't. But we can go get you a pair of Nikes so you can feel better after the session.
The outlet don't ever sell Nikes. I can't go.
Okay.
Because right now, I'm in you got to understand this. And I'll shut up after this. When people are ready to heal all the way, they lose a lot of fight out of them. I'm not ready to lose all that fight just yet. Give me 20 years, I'm going to come back to it.
Okay.
And then, hey, we can sit down, we can cry, we can go on the beach, we can go to Mexico. I'll give you, we go to Mexico, I'll take you. We good, we gone. Okay. And we'll talk about it then.
On the yacht?
Huh?
We on the yacht?
Let me get my money up first. I'm hoping by that time. Yeah. If it's mine, if it's mine and yours, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
I got you.
All right, we can do that.
Yeah.
Now, but right now, I think I owe it to a lot of people to express myself in the most funniest ways. So we'll see what happens in the future. I appreciate you. You know, I always appreciate you, and I love you.
I love you too. And I'm always here for you, nigga.
Thank you.
Anytime. We're not done with you yet.
I hope not.
Come on, Dino.
It's good, man.
Everything.
Feeling, man.
Everything under the sun.
That's beautiful.
You
man.
all right?
Yes, sir, man.
Okay.
Blessed up, man.
Okay.
Living the dream, as they say.
It's been about 6 months since I seen you.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
I think last time I seen you was at I think we had like a studio session or something like that.
Yeah, I had brought baby girl in there. She was acting a fool.
Yeah, so did.
She runs everything.
Yeah.
She's still running everything.
Yeah. How old is she now?
4.
That's what's
4.
up.
Yeah, she wreaking havoc.
Yeah.
It's her favorite thing to do in her pastime.
That's what's up.
So
man.
yeah.
That's beautiful, man. That's what they're supposed to do, right?
No. They're supposed to listen and obey their parents.
When does that ever go down?
Jesus, I can't kick you down the steps, baby. Like, listen.
You know what? I just did the same thing with my kids. My kids 14, 15 now.
Okay.
Yeah, but I had a point when I just stopped whooping them because I was like, man, you know what? This is creating trauma for them sometimes.
Oh, you used to whoop your kids?
Yeah, man. When I was like, little, because that's what I was taught.
Oh, okay.
My grandma whooped me with switches. My pops whooped me with belts.
Okay.
Did
you have to go pick your own switch?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, straight out the shower though. Straight out the shower.
See, listen, here's the thing. This is what I didn't understand. See, my grandmama, right?
Yeah.
Strong woman.
Yeah.
Like she was that last class of, okay, we picking the little cotton out.
Yeah.
And we're transitioning to like the cleaning services.
Right.
And then we're transitioning into nurses. That's kind of how my grandmother's life was.
Oh, word. Okay.
So she had these really rough hands, right?
Yeah.
It was like made of wood and steel. And
calluses.
I never wanted her to like grab my arm.
Oof.
Or like she used to be like, hey Dad, come here and let me pick something off your face. And then she would rub and it was like a scab was just getting put in my face as she was rubbing.
Damn.
And you could see but the most loving woman.
Yeah.
She can cook everything you want. She'd take the demons out your body and all of that. She was a wonderful. But them hands.
Yeah.
So I never wanted to be on her bad side.
Right. You don't want to get calluses to your face.
I still probably would have had marks here.
Yeah. She's a beautiful woman though. Yeah. My grandma she was a beast too. She was like nurturing. She took care of everybody. She was the head of the household. Of course, you would think the grandfather would, but she ran everything. She was like godmother. Because she had 7 brothers and sisters she took care of. Even as they was grown people. She took care of all the grandkids, took care of all the the siblings and all that stuff as well. But she also, you don't want to get on the bad side.
Yeah, that's the worst thing you can do.
Yeah, exactly. Especially like when my brother used to rap. Yeah. And we'd be in the other room and the walls are thin as fuck. So we'd be cussing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Worst thing you can do.
Yep. And then next thing you know, yeah. But yeah, man, I'm gonna get some healing questions, man. One question I do want to ask is how do you navigate the responsibility of holding space for someone else's pain while honoring your own? Be a friend, wife, kids, brother.
You don't. They'll open up to you when they want to. You know, I can't hold your pain. Only thing I can do is show you a good time. You know, I'm here for one reason and one reason only, and that's to be your friend. You know, if you want to talk about that, cool,
right?
But it's not on you to be like, oh, what's wrong?
Yeah,
because like we homies, man.
Right. You want to open up, you open up. Yeah.
Yeah, we talk about everything, even the stuff you didn't want to talk about.
Right.
Same thing with you, wife, and same thing with you, kids. You know, we talked about everything. There's no reason for you to hold back on nothing. So it's not on me. Like, hey, I always tell my, hey, you know, I'm here. I love you. If you need something, I'm around the corner.
Right.
So that should tell you everything you need to know. Shoot, I've had, and you got to understand, like, I got a really broad friend group.
Okay.
You know, so it can go from doctors to killers.
Yeah, for real.
It doesn't matter. If we grew up together, I can't just say, hey man, I don't know you no more. It's not how I operate. So I've had like homies just call and I just sit on the phone.
Right.
I just listen. It's, you know, you gotta think your homies really ain't got nobody to talk to. They strong friends and they family.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so,
check on strong friends.
You know, I can deal with pain because like I always say, everything is temporary. It doesn't bother me the same way as it would probably bother somebody else.
Right.
So if you need to travel, get that stuff out, man. You talk all that stuff you need, get it all out. It's okay.
Right.
I'm just here to listen. There's no advice that I can give you to go through anything that you're going through because I've never been through it.
Right, right.
So the only thing we can do is listen. And through the listening process, normally they will hear themselves talking and then they will figure it out themselves.
You're just a soundboard.
Yeah. You ain't got to give your opinion. It ain't for you to give your opinion on everything.
No, that's real.
That's why everybody shouldn't have a voice.
That's facts. Yeah, that's facts, man. Yeah, because therapy is expensive.
Hey, listen, I figured it out myself.
You know.
Yeah, I don't care if you got insurance or not. It's still expensive.
It's still expensive.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I literally tried to get through my job, and then I come find out I wasn't full-time, I was part-time.
Oh, gotcha.
I was like, damn, I thought I was going to get some adult help, and, you know, and
not yet.
I'm just out here in the wilderness trying to figure it out. Trying to figure it out. But no, I do believe, like, you could hold space by being the friend, just being the soundboard. A lot of people need to hear themselves talk anyway, and get it out and talk through it with themselves and figure it out, you know, just by you listening. You know? Yeah. So I do believe in that. It's beautiful. Next question would be like, what's a shadow aspect of healing work that's rarely talked about, but you had to confront personally?
Say again.
What's a shadow aspect?
You know, I graduated with a D- average, right?
Yeah, me too.
So you can't do this to me, okay? Like, you slow this
I'm gonna slow it down. I'm gonna slow it down for
just
you.
Because I talk like I got some sense doesn't mean I actually
got sense. Okay. This is a mirage.
I just know how to read.
Hey, that's a step up though. A lot of people don't know how to read. So you're in a good space.
I'll take it back. I did score 26 on the ACT, so it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, give me some credit, man. You know, give me some grace.
Thank God for No Child Left Behind. No, I'll still be in high school today.
Even hook on phonics, you know. Thank God, Dallas is still here with us, still staying strong mentally.
No, I'm sorry, man. Go ahead.
No, you good. I'm gonna break it down for you. So basically, like, what's a shadow aspect, or like something like shadow aspect of healing work that's rarely talked about, like something that's rarely talked about, but you have to confront personally?
I don't know. Tell you. That's what I can't tell you. A shadow aspect. Well, you know, there's context clues in everything. So, like, God tell you things by not being there. Like, you can see it happening.
Yeah.
It's like something that's been bothering you, right? And then he'll come to you in a day. And he'll come to you in 3 different people and tell you 3 different things. 3 different
like confirmation.
Yeah. So it's like, all right. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
So are you going to deal with it? So your shadow, aspect, I'll just say God looking from afar, telling you what to do. Are you listening? Are you listening? Listening is a very valuable skill. Nobody does that.
Yeah.
I probably didn't listen to this question good enough. I don't do it.
That's a good answer.
I don't do it well enough. So
yeah.
But no, like your context clues, that tells you everything. It will tell you everything. I had one of those, matter of fact, yesterday. It's stupid to others. It means the world to me.
Yeah.
My friend called me and asked me, "Hey Dallas, you getting those J's that come out on the 24th?" And then a whole nother person called me, and I could have swore I just out of nowhere another person called me. I said, "Yeah, I'm getting them." It's something stupid, but it's still like, okay,
right,
all right, treat yourself for your birthday. Your birthday coming up, go ahead, treat yourself. That's kind of like
got you, yeah.
So yeah, the shoes come out on the 24th. Here I am on the 20th. My birthday's on the 20th.
Is it?
Get them.
Oh, you're a Taurus?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up.
Unfortunately.
My brother's a Taurus too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an
I'm a Taurus moon, so
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we are horrible people.
But we don't give up. Easy.
We don't give up. But see, here's the thing: as a Taurus person, I will let you know we are some messed up individuals.
Yeah.
Like we should be the last dated. Okay, and this is coming from a diehard Taurus. Now I'm trying to help you now.
I'm not a diehard Taurus. I'm a Sagittarius. Moon Taurus.
So see, you talking about moons and quasars and all of that. So,
yeah, I'm a spiritual guy.
Listen, as for in the physical, on May the 20th, I am a Taurus, and they are bullheaded. They think that their way is always the right way.
Yeah,
and we're hard to compromise with.
Yes.
So we have no in between. I don't know if you've noticed. I've kind of did some stuff that might have showed that I was a Taurus today. I don't really believe in all the moon things and all of that. I saw a young podcaster a long time ago. He said it's about the placement of where you were born and the family. Yeah. That's probably the most interesting thing I could think of.
What do you mean?
Like, say for instance, if you're the oldest, right? You're probably taught to be the leader. If you're the middle, you kind of get overlooked a little bit. You don't really get paid no attention. But they got so much aspiration in this baby, so you done got all of it from there. They look at you like, hey, you supposed to have everything. You got cuddle, you ain't get the babies. You supposed to come up.
Right.
So you act your placement in your family. So you go to your family, right? So I'm a middle child. My wife's a middle child. We act like middle children.
My mother's a middle child.
You know what I'm saying? We act like we just cool.
Yeah.
She do whatever she want to do because her mama, and not no disrespectful way. Her mama is great, and my dad is great, but they ain't paying no attention to us.
Right.
We're in the middle. They always hump on the oldest one, or they cuddle the baby, and we just got to move. So when you deal with somebody spoiled, that's normally the baby of the family.
Literally,
So
my girl's a baby.
Absolutely. And when you deal with somebody controlling, that's usually the oldest person in the family. So if you deal with just say for instance, like an older, like a woman who got all her stuff together and all of that. And I'm not just saying it just because it's women. It's just because her placement in the family. She's used to running things. It's not nothing that she's trying to control you.
Right.
It's just how she was brought up. This is the way that she moves. She's always.
You're responsible for these kids. You're responsible for your little brother.
Stop today?
No, that makes sense.
No, if she gonna keep doing this, it's because all she know.
Right.
Or if you the baby, all you know is somebody buying you shoes and buying you purses and stuff. It's either older sister, my daddy, or my mama, or the grandmama, because she happy that she got another little baby that she can poke at again. So, and then the ones in the middles normally have the most mute life ever. They just like kind of even kill. You don't know what you're gonna get as of they just gonna chill. They ain't gonna do too much.
Right.
You gonna get the bills paid. You're gonna get the food cooked. The house gonna be clean. It's gonna be the most stable life.
Right.
It's not gonna be so overcentric with other silliness. So
And that makes sense because I'm oldest child, and they usually always the parents is always like, you're responsible for your little brother and little sister. So you always hold the accountability. So you always have to feel accountable or responsible for everything.
Yeah, you're a brother daddy.
Yeah. Exactly.
So.
My facts. Good word. I never put it like that. That's what's up.
Yeah.
I do got a curious question though.
What up?
What's up with the lug nuts in the ears?
Okay, great question. Okay, so this is how this goes. Okay, me and my wife have been together for 14 years, all right? we play a game of speed every year. Normally, it's after we get to drinking.
Yeah.
We'll have, and that's the thing. She know I don't drink.
Right.
So
you know tolerance.
You know what speed is, right?
Yeah, the card game.
So
right?
for those who don't know what speed is, it's a card game, and it's a card game where whoever picks up the cards the fastest, wins the game or whatever. All right. I can't have the deck of cards. She can always have the deck of cards because she holds the cards to my life, pretty much, for what it looks like. So what happens next is whenever she feels like it, she'll just put them out, put the cards out, and we'll go at it. I've lost 2 times.
That was a dare. Oh, word.
So, yeah. So I got tats on my hands and that right there. And that's the only thing. If you see something else pop up, that's because she won. I was gun ho on this, no tats, no piercing.
Yeah.
She said, end this.
Damn.
She ended that.
Did you have tats before that?
No.
Damn.
And she said, get it on probably like one of the most painful places we can get it. So I don't want it on your kneecap.
She's crucial, man.
Yeah, when she wins, she wins. She got to understand. She got a neck tat. She got a hand tat. She got, she's good. She got extra piercing.
Oh, okay. So she used to this. She was trying to get you like her.
Yeah. So she, when you lose, you have to deal with that. And I'm a good winner.
Obviously, yeah. You went through with it. You hold your word. That's what's up.
Ain't no reason to go back on it.
No, that's real. I don't have the tats right now,
this
but
person.
yeah, that sounds painful. Yeah.
It don't hurt.
It don't hurt. Was that the most painful place they say?
Well, they say they did like the back of your kneecap, your pinkies.
I thought some
bone areas. You know what I'm saying? But
tendons.
this was I could feel it going into my bone, but it didn't hurt. It was actually it felt good.
Like therapy.
I could have went to sleep. I could have went to sleep. Like I don't know about this part of I know this is gonna hurt.
Oh yeah.
So I hope she'll I don't get the shakes or nothing next time I'm playing.
Right.
Like, that nerves like that. You be nervous when you hold them last couple of cards.
You know what I'm saying?
You like, all right, she gonna go. She got 5, I got 2. It can easily go.
Literally.
And I'm like, oh my god.
Damn. Okay. And then remind me not to play with your wife anytime we have speed.
Nah, she's a beast. She don't play with nobody else.
What was y'all drinking? Oh, word.
So last time it was Ace of Spades.
Okay.
That was a wonderful night.
Yeah.
I don't remember much, but because it was a lot of Ace of Spades. It wasn't just one bottle.
Oh, damn, yeah, Ace of Spades, yeah.
It was a couple of bottles. So it was just, 5 people? It was 5 people?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we all down that. And yeah.
That's what's up.
I don't like losing, but when I lose, it is what it is.
Yeah, you were not a sore winner. Yeah. Well, I was losing.
Yeah, she got me.
All right. So I think that was the last question, man. I appreciate your time, man. Bless up, man. Appreciate your flow, man. Appreciate your vibes.
Yeah,
man. Much luck to you, man. And hope you back, man.
All right. I will be back.
Yeah.
And we'll be bigger.
Full circle. Healerz Circle.
There might be a chain on my neck next time.
Hey, and a yacht in the back.
Maybe. I don't know. You won't see it though. It'll be tucked in.